He's a man in his glory, a boy in his dreams, and he's living his life in between.
Hold her steady, Captain.
The Constellation was a floating artillery platform. Her entire purpose was to intimidate or destroy enemies of United States policy.
The Constellation is classified as a 22-gun Sloop of War. As the name suggests, that means she's got 22 guns on board the ship. 20 of those are down below on the gun deck, just one level below your feet. Most of what we would have had down there would have been 8-inch chambered shell guns. That's 16 of the guns we would have had down there. The 8 inches means that the muzzle, or the bore of the gun, the bore size is 8 inches in diameter. The shell that we fit into that bore is just slightly smaller than that, so it fits in nice and tight. All of our guns on board the Constellation are muzzle loading weapons. That means I have to work with it from the front.
Below deck, Rob shared some of his Civil War reenacting artillery knowledge with the other relics.
So to actually fire this gun, they would have to run this back by rope. You had your big rammer here. This was the rammer. Before you rammed it, you would swab it. This right here. So you would dip that in water, swab out the gun barrel, put your powder and your actual shot in next. That would be then set down with a rammer. Not sure how many men were on a gun crew here.
15.
Typically, like Civil War, it was like
15 per gun.
Wow. So a lot of those guys were used
pulling
to
the ropes
just pull
and
the ropes back and forth.
This is the point of the program where I do actually need a gun crew. This gun weighs 1,700 pounds. I certainly do not. While I can do this on my own, it takes about 20 minutes. So unless you want to stick around and watch me run it out on my own, I would really appreciate any help that you guys would be willing to offer. Whoever wants to help can line up on the outside of either one of these lines for me.
All right.
And you can move as far up as you want. Alrighty. Fantastic. So, a couple commands for you guys.
Yeah, you're gonna help.
You're gonna get 2 commands from me. First one's gonna be action, next one's gonna be haul. On action, your feet should be firmly planted on the ground, about shoulder width apart. They shouldn't move, because if you move, you're gonna hit the guy behind you, who's gonna hit the guy behind them. Domino effect, not fun. So keep your feet firmly planted on the ground. On action, you're gonna reach as far forward as you can, take out all the slack in the line, but don't pull yet. On haul, you'll pull and stand all the way upright. Once you get all the way upright, you'll stop, and I'll give the commands over and over again. Sound good?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, action, lean all the way forward, and haul. Fantastic. Action, and haul. Action, and haul. And that's good. Excellent. You can drop your line. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Everyone else, give him a hand. Thank you. That's probably the quickest we have ever done it, so thank you very much. Alrighty.
They're manly men.
I know. It's nice to have manly men around.
Mermaid, mermaid, land ho!
Unlike a Civil War one where you would prick the powder bag with a big punch, this actually had some sort of mechanical cock that they would put the percussion cap on there, pull the lanyard back, and in one full pull of the string would snap this down onto that percussion cap, and they could shoot solid shot, they could shoot grape shot, which was iron balls, they could also shoot canister, which was, imagine a coffee can with small, most ball bearing size round pieces. Also hunks of chain.
So once you set it, then you had to run the wedge in.
Yes,
Keep that thing from...
and this thing would jump like crazy. You can imagine the whole ship moving as they do a broadside, if you will.
I'm going to give the last 2 commands, which are make ready and fire. At make ready, all of the sailors on the ship would have gotten into a position that looks like this. It looks really funny, but there's a few steps that they all make sense. The first thing they do is go onto the balls of their feet. I mentioned this gun up here weighs 1,700 pounds. The chambered shell guns down below, originally the tubes alone would have weighed 6,300 pounds each. That's a lot of weight flying through the air as you explode the gunpowder inside those guns. The big line on the back of those guns that you'll see down below is called breaching. That line is supposed to keep the guns from recoiling all the way through the other side of the deck. But as things happen, things can go wrong, and if those guns decide to recoil back at your body, you want to be on the balls of your feet so you can jump out of the way nice and quickly before 6,300 pounds of gun come crashing into your stomach, because that's going to ruin your day pretty quickly. Second thing they do is cover their ears to the palms of their hands. Up here, it's not as important because we're in an open air space, but down below on the gun deck, this is extremely important. Those chambered shell guns use a charge of 9 pounds of gunpowder per gun. That is a huge change of air pressure inside and outside your body when you explode that much gunpowder. So much so that if you poke your fingers in your ears, like you may see people do on TV, one of two things is going to happen. Either your fingers are going to get forced further into your ears, causing yourself damage in your ears, or you're going to cause yourself more air pressure inside your body and cause yourself internal bleeding because your insides are going to explode quite literally. It's really not fun, either of those things, so instead of doing that, you cover your ears just like this to help protect your ears and also protect your insides. The last thing they do is open their mouths a little bit. Again, it helps equalize the change in air pressure inside and outside your bodies. Make ready, fire! And that's all there is to it. Thank you.
So we're here with Stan. He's the Deputy Director of Operations here on the Constellation. Now, just how much of a rarity is it to have something like this right here in Baltimore?
This is the only ship like it in the world, and it's here. So
Really?
You tell me how rare that is.
Very rare. Now, I understand like all the maintenance and everything else that all this entails. Now, do you rely solely on donations? Is there grants and those kind of things coming for you also?
We rely on some donations. We rely on tickets purchased for daily visitation. We have overnight programs. We have
Really?
group tours. We go out and provide educational opportunities outside the city in schools and wherever we're invited, and all of those things bring in a little bit of money. We have quite a few streams of revenue.
Great.
But the main revenue comes from ticket generation.
Absolutely. So you want to keep stuff like this going? Get your butt here and check this out. Constellation, phenomenal place. I'll say it again. You can't say enough about this place. You got the Torsk, which is just over here, that World War II era submarine that we were in before, and now we're in 1800s technology and an unbelievable opportunity here. Stan, thank you so much for having us today.
After a full morning aboard Baltimore's historic ships, the Relic Society mounted up and headed to their next destination. Visit Constellation and you can become the gun crew. Go to historicships.org for details.